Good morning. It is Monday, November 17th, and it's time for Q&A. We have two questions today, and they're both big ones that I get. Well, both of these are questions that I get a lot, and so we're really going to dive in. One is about cheat meals, especially over the holidays, and then about do I count calories and dealing with cravings for junk over the weekend. And the stuff all ties together. So if you're seeing me for the first time, hi there. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Elizabeth from Happy, Healthy, and Hot. I'm a 59-year-old double certified health and weight loss coach, author, content creator, and three-time finalist in the Maximum Cover Girl competition in my 50s, competing with women mostly in their 20s and 30s, because it is time to tell a new story about aging. Women of all ages deserve to be seen, heard, and admired. So, oh, and before we dive into these questions, I'm a little scattered this morning. It's just, there's been a lot going on. It's all good. Anyway, I'm going to drop a link below with that to my store where you can find my two cookbooks, the Happy, Healthy, and Hot cookbook and Happier, Healthier, and Hotter, both of which are immediate digital downloads, sharing my high protein, low calorie, bikini friendly recipes and real life actionable weight loss strategies that work. You can also grab my journal, the Happy, Healthy, Not Journal on Amazon. That'll be linked. And my digital course, Elevate with Elizabeth. This is not a health and weight loss course per se, but it can absolutely support you in those areas. In Elevate, I share my signature 5-step process that I've used over and over and you can use it too, to transform and elevate every area of my life, from my body to my business, personal relationships, environment, all of the things. And this is kind of the secret sauce. I can give you all of the weight loss tips, all of the recipes, all of the strategies. This is the inner work that gets you there or gets you to the improved career, business, life. This is the stuff that will get you there. Literally creating a new identity for yourself. And I'm doing it again, right? Like I use these steps over and over. And the more you do it, let's just say the better it gets, the more fun it gets, the more growth and transformation you see. And it's $49. It's a video course. You have unlimited access to the videos. You can watch them at your own pace over and over. It is so good. Okay, holiday cheat meals. My friend Carol asked me about cheat meals. I kept trying to record a video. I kept getting cut off. But then I just got a question again about cheat meals over the holidays. Um, First of all, I just don't like the word cheat meal. I don't cheat on I don't cheat in games. I don't cheat on tests. I don't cheat in relationships. And the most important relationship that we have is the relationship with ourselves. That sets the tone for everything else in our life. I don't cheat on myself. So I don't like cheat meal. What is that? I eat really good food. I eat really well. I prioritize protein and produce. I'm not saying those are the only things that I eat, but so I eat with intention. Um, do I sometimes, when I get to the question about counting calories, do I sometimes consume more calories than I need in a day? Yes, I do, but it's done with intention and it's not obviously done all the time, or I wouldn't have these post-breakfast abs at 59. So I really don't have cheat meals. I eat with intention. I pretty much plan ahead. I'm not somebody that you're going to like twist my arm or pressure me into trying something or eating something. And this isn't about being rigid. Like, yeah, it's about knowing what works for me. So foods that I don't eat are grains because they just don't work for me, other than the occasional rice with sushi. I don't want your chips, other than the occasional super clean, like tortilla chip that's just like corn and salt or something. I don't want your chips cooked in seed oils. I don't want random cookies made with regular flour because that's going to make me break out, make my stomach bloat, all the things. I don't want pizza. Again, same thing with the grains. Um, will I enjoy a well-crafted cocktail from time to time? Absolutely. Do I enjoy some high-quality chocolate? Absolutely. Did I eat a Hershey Special Dark Bar after going to Chocolate World last week with my sister to celebrate her birthday? Damn straight I did. I counted in my calories for the day and included it because I do track loosely. And it was delicious, but I don't do that all the time. So I just feel like when we're like to achieve extraordinary results, you need to do extraordinary things. You need to, it's not that it has to be hard, but you do need to do things a little differently than everybody else. So everybody's always going to be saying, try this. Oh, I made this. Oh, come on. It's just one time. Oh, it's the holidays. It's Christmas. It's Thanksgiving. It's Easter. It's Halloween. It's Arbor Day. It's Valentine's Day. It's whatever day. It's my birthday. It's my this, my that. We're celebrating shit every single day. I'm all about celebrating, but we don't need to celebrate with food that's not helping our bodies. So again, I'm telling you what I do. I'm not saying you have to do what I do. But I'm saying that when you're like cheating, like then it's kind of like, oh yeah, well, everything's ruined for today or this week or the rest of the weekend. I don't look at it that way. I want to wake up feeling amazing every single day. That's why I stopped drinking wine. I found out wine, as much as I do enjoy it, and we can buy like clean, organic, um, sometimes I feel great after a glass of wine the next morning, and sometimes I don't. And I just decided, this isn't working for me anymore. Now, I did drink some Prosecco in Italy. I will occasionally do like the Prosecco toast, but because I like bubbles. But, so I really look at not just how does this, like, what's going to feel good now in the moment, what's going to be enjoyable and taste good and all those things, and what's going to feel good tomorrow. And I'm not talking about guilt and shame and regret, which some of us do to ourselves, and I have too when we eat things that aren't great for us. I'm talking about literally how do I want to feel physically in my body? I don't feel good in my body sometimes when I drink wine. I don't feel good if I have too much alcohol, but I'll have a cocktail or two. Um, Not every day. I know I don't feel good when I have too much sugar, and I really feel like crap when I eat bread or grains. I haven't had, other than one exception in Italy, which did affect me, I haven't had bread in over 10, probably 15 years. Working in an Italian restaurant for 9.5 years where they baked rolls constantly that people go crazy over, didn't eat them ever. Just, no, not worth it. So when I was in Italy, I hadn't really planned this ahead of time. I never had the pasta, but our first night, admittedly, I was very like going on very little sleep. We flew overnight. Our first night at dinner, we're tired, we're hungry, and they did bring bread to the table. Of course, we're in Italy with amazing olive oil. And I've heard from so many people that when you have the bread in Europe, it's totally different. Like you feel great. So I hadn't really been planning on it, but I thought, let me try a little bread and dipped it in the olive oil and it was delicious. Did I think this is the best thing I've ever had? Oh my gosh, I miss bread. No, because it's just not what I eat. And I felt fine, like no digestive distress, anything like that. We ate, we were exhausted, we went to bed. The next morning, we were getting up early and taking a ferry to Capri, and where we spent the entire day. And I threw on this little loose sundress, kind of a high waist, got dressed, walked around Capri all day, got like 20,000 steps. It was fabulous, fabulous. Felt great, had a limoncello spritz. Anyway, get back, take our ferry back. We've been gone the whole day. And when we're back in the hotel room and I go to change to shower to get ready to go out again, my belly looked like I was 4 months pregnant. And I showed my daughter, I was like, oh my gosh, this was the bread. So thankfully I wasn't doing any like bikini photos that day. And by the next day, it had gone down a lot. I could still see it, but it wasn't terrible. I absolutely wore a bikini on a boat. I was fine. But so thankfully I didn't feel crappy, but I'm not available for a bloated belly that looks 4 months pregnant ever. So I don't cheat on myself. Holidays, do I intentionally enjoy certain foods that I don't enjoy on a regular basis? Yes, but they're not foods that are going to wreck me. Will I enjoy some, like, I like cranberry sauce at Thanksgiving. That's cranberries and sugar. Okay, it's a little more sugar than I normally have. That's fine. Am I going to eat the stuffing made out of bread and stuff, whatever is in there? No, I'm not. I'm not. Am I going to eat potatoes? Depends on how I feel. Potatoes aren't bad, but I generally don't eat a lot of carbs, especially, if I don't know what's being like mixed into them and stuff. So I absolutely do eat plenty of fruits and veggies. So holiday cheat meals, I don't cheat on myself. I enjoy with intention, but I want to wake up feeling amazing every single day. And, and not to say, oh, we're getting older and it's harder. No, but we do need to be a little more diligent, both in our, just our nutrition. When we were younger, our hormones did a lot of the job of muscle, building muscle. So even if you didn't really meet your protein needs, that's okay. Now, we really need those amino acids from real food to activate muscle protein synthesis. So it's just something that, you know, I choose not to cheat in any situation. That's just the way I treat myself and my body. Now, lovely. So, Marcia asked if I count calories. I do. I track them, loosely. I'm not like obsessive, but I'm very aware of calorie and protein counts. I don't worry so much about the carbs and fat because when you're getting the protein right and the calories right, and I'm eating real food, mostly with ingredients, the carbs and fat are going to fall into place. Like some days I'll be getting more fat from my food, maybe eating fattier cuts of meat, fish, things like that. Other days there might be more carbs, and maybe I'm filling in, having more fruit, baked sweet potato, things like that. But if my protein and my calories in line, it's all going to work for me. And Marsha also mentioned she gets off track on the weekends, eats some junk. So yes, I do count calories and protein. I loosely track them. I don't use an app. I just jot stuff down in my journal, the Happy Healthy Nut Journal, which you can grab on Amazon. There'll be a link down here. But you can use an app, notes in your phone, an old spiral notebook, whatever you want. So I use my journal because it's for mindset, nutrition, and fitness. I list affirmations, intention for the day, things like that. What am I proud of? What am I grateful for? And then I just jot down what I'm eating. And for me, it's pretty easy from doing this for a long time to just, I can look it up, I can Google it, or it's certainly all my recipes in my cookbook have macros listed. But I'm pretty aware of like eggs, beef, stuff like that, how many calories I'm getting, how much protein. So I track this stuff and it just allows tracking, keeps me on track. So I used to do this only when I would feel like I was needed to get back on track. If I'd put on a few pounds, if I wasn't feeling great, I'd start tracking everything to get back on track. And then I was like, well, so much easier to keep your train on the track than to get it back off after it's derailed. And I think as far as craving junk or sweets on the weekends or anytime, as you get your protein up from real food, because then Marcia got back to me about protein bars, you're going to find that the cravings for junk go away. And then it's like, am I eating this because it's the weekend and I think I should? Do I really want it? Like, what's my intention? And then as you start tracking everything, again, tracking isn't just about the exact macros. It's about holding yourself accountable. It's about self-awareness. It's a tool that then if you look back, and in my journal, it's designed once a week, there's a check-in. I look back, I see how I did, not just with my nutrition, with everything. And you start to see, oh, isn't this interesting? When I ate this the next day, because I weigh myself every day also, I was up in weight. Clearly I didn't gain weight from that one food, but maybe causing me to retain water, maybe, making me bloated, uncomfortable. So you get to see patterns and how different foods and your life affects your body, and then you can adjust accordingly. So, and then as far as craving sweets, so Marcia mentioned she'd been eating some protein bars, but because she had a sweets craving, but wanted to get her protein. But here's what happens when you rely on protein bars and shakes and things like that. I'm not saying they're bad foods. I do have a few protein, but I always use collagen. We know this, I've been talking about it for years. I do some really clean protein powders I have on hand, a whey that I really, really like. And that I'll use sometimes to stir in a Greek yogurt or something to boost protein. I'm not a big shake person, but I don't like so many of the bars and shakes are oversweetened, hyper palatable. So you could eat it and get, say, 20 plus grams of protein. But it's like you feel like you could eat 5 more of those bars. It's like eating a cookie. It's not really satisfying. And those, if something's flavored like glazed donut, like that's just not a thing, or strawberry shortcake or whatever, like those aren't foods we need to be eating every day. And we don't need to be eating like food that's flavored like them either. So that's just the way I feel about this stuff. Anyway, drop your questions in the comments and I will see you tomorrow with another Q&A.